We have to start with the 34th Sutra. So in the last section, the last 2 or 3 sutras, we saw how the teacher, over here the Acharya is sage Narada, he indicates to us that both bhakti and knowledge are interrelated. To love the Lord, to become devoted to Him, we should know something about Him. We should know His glories. Just as when we say, I like my neighbor or I love my neighbor, what does it indicate? It indicates that I know a lot of her characteristics. I know her good qualities. I am aware of it. Since she is very noble, she is very virtuous, honest, kind, compassionate, I like her or I love her. So therefore, love always is backed by knowledge. Otherwise, it's not true love at all. That being the case with people, it's even more in the case of Bhagavan. So when we want to cultivate devotion or turn our love that is there in us, that emotion called love in us towards Him, we should know His glories. So knowing His glories constitutes knowledge over there. So therefore, the teacher told us knowledge is a must. Again, they are interdependent on each other. More the knowledge, more the glories we know about the Lord, more will be our devotion towards Him. And more the devotion in us, more we will seek to know more and more of His glories. So they both are interrelated. So over here now the question is, how do we cultivate devotion to the Lord? So in the 34th Sutra, rather in this section, the teacher is going to tell us how we can cultivate devotion towards the Lord. So the 34th Sutra, it says, Tasyaha sadhanani gayanti acharyaha, plural. Acharyaha means all our masters, rishis, sages, prophets. Now we are not separating them out and saying they belong to the Jnana Marga, they belong to the Bhakti Marga. We already know now that a Jnani is a Bhakta and a Bhakta is a Jnani. So Acharyaha plural. All of them who know who have practiced devotion in their lives and who have reached the goal. And what is the goal? God realization. Again over there it can be Saguna or it can be Nirguna. Jivatma completely merging with Paramatma, or it can be Ishvara Darshana, Bhagavad Darshana. So all our Acharyahas, Tasyaha means that devotion, sadhanani, to cultivate that devotion. What is the sadhana? What is the path? What is the means? They give it out to us. Instead of saying the Acharyas have given it to us, or the Acharyas have advised us, or the Acharyas have told us, Narada is using the word Gayanti over here. Gayanti means they sing. So we know the difference between telling and singing. When do we sing? We always sing when we are very, very joyful. When we are not happy, when we are not joyful, we will never be able to sing. So therefore, when he uses the word Gayanti, Acharyaha, it indicates to us at what stage they must be in, within themselves. The devotion that they have practiced towards the Lord, they are reveling and reveling and reveling in it. Therefore, he uses the word Gayanti over here. That is why earlier the teacher told us, in the case of Bhakti, Bhakti is its own fulfillment. So therefore, Acharya, all the Acharyas, our teachers, they give to us means or the path, or rather means to, or the methods to cultivate devotion in us. What are the methods? Have been now given to us one by one, one by one. The 35th Sutra, one method has been given to us. Again, each method is not separate from the other. Again, they are all interdependent on each other. So the 35th Sutra, Tattu Vishayatyagat Sangatyagat Cha. Cha means and over there. So two things have been indicated over here. To cultivate devotion, what is it that we must do in our lives, or what is it that we must take up in our lives, a program that we have to take up in our lives. The teacher says over here, first is Vishaya Tyagat. Tyaga means to give up. What should we give up? Vishaya Tyaga we must do. Vishaya means sense objects, Vishaya Vastus. All that which comes to us through our indriyas, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, from the world outside. And here Vishaya means sense objects. So inert, insentient things have been indicated over here. We must give them all up. Now giving them all up doesn't mean physically we must give them all up. That is only external renunciation. We must give them all up internally. Internal renunciation is what has been indicated over here. It's very easy for us to give up things outside. Even that is difficult, but still, it's very easy for us to say no to something physically. But in our mind, we will be thinking about it. That means we really haven't given up anything at all. And what does Sangha mean over here? Because attachment. Tyaga means when I'm giving up something, it means it was with me till now. So it is talking about attachment over here. What is attachment? It is I plus I want. Without I want can't be there. So first the I should be there. Ahankar should be there. When that ahankar is there, then mamakara will come. Mama means mine. So first of all, that ego is there, which is arrogating to itself, asserting itself, and then afterwards it seeks fulfillment, accomplishment, etc. in the world outside with things and beings. So I is there plus I want is there, or I is there, mine is there. This is mine when we say I am attached to it. And no attachment is physical. When we say, if we write down the list of things that we are attached to, the list will be very long. So whenever we go, supposing we go out from our house to the market or for a walk, we are not carrying all the things that we are attached to with ourselves. They are all at home only. So no attachment is physical as such. It is all psychological, thought bondage it is. There is an emotional connect between us and the thing over there. Why? Because we feel with that thing our life is complete. We feel fulfilled, we feel satisfied, we feel contented. Without the thing, we feel we are going to be miserable. Something less in our lives. So therefore over here the teacher says, if we want to cultivate devotion, we must drop certain things in our life. We must do tyaga. Tyaga of what? All the Vishaya Vastu. Without giving up anything, we can't hope to achieve or realize anything higher. Not possible at all. Without writing the examination and getting good marks, the child cannot leave the second grade or the third grade and go to the next grade. So what is it doing? It's doing tyaga of the third grade. Why? To reach the fourth grade. And for that to achieve that, what should the child do? Study well and take up the examination. So nothing in our life is possible without giving up something. If we want to reach anything higher, whether it is in the materialistic realm or whether it is in the spiritual realm. In the spiritual realm, it becomes even more. That is why all of them are interrelated. In Viveka Chudamani, Shankara says right in the beginning, prerequisite, he says Viveka should be there, discrimination, the capacity to discriminate. That capacity to discriminate will come to us only when knowledge is there. So Jnana should be there, then only Viveka will come. Immediately he says Vairagya. We are talking about Vairagya over here. Good quality should be there. Mumukshutva should be there. Earlier we had seen in one of the sutras that craving and that longing to get out of this sense of mortality and reach the state of immortality. And for all that, again, in the Viveka Chudamani itself, Shankara says, of all the things that we have in our life to proceed on our journey, spiritual journey, there he is talking about Advaita. He says Bhakti is very important. So all of them are together. They are never independent of each other. All of them depend on each other. One reinforces the other. So over here, the teacher is telling us Vishaya Tyagat. We have to give up certain things. It's very easy to give up things which we don't like. There are some people who go to Kashi, Yatra, and then we are told when we go to Kashi, we must give up something over there. Tyaga we must do and come back. So what do we do most of the time? We check out within ourselves what we don't like. I don't like this color, let's say red color. So Bhagavan, from tomorrow onwards, I won't wear red colored clothes. Easy for us. Or supposing we don't like brinjal. Some vegetable we don't like, karela. Give it up over there and come. It's very easy to give up something which we don't like, which we dislike. But when we go over there, we must give up something which we really like. Tyaga we should. So therefore, Vishaya Tyaga obviously means we are giving up within ourselves something or things which we are totally attached with. In the sense, without the thing or without those things, my life is completely incomplete. With those things, yes, some sense of contentment and satisfaction I am feeling. And that list is long. So therefore Bhagavan says, and what is it that why is it that we say I am attached to something? Means I like it. We can't say love. We don't say I love my chair and I love my table. I like, we say. Things normally we use the word like. And for people we use the word love. But the emotion is the same. So this love factor which we have within us, do we have it? All of us have it. Why? Bhagavan is there in us. Consciousness is there in us. The pure Shuddha Chaitanya. What is its characteristic? Its characteristic is love. That is why we say God is love. God is truth. God is Dharma. So the very fact that Bhagavan is there in us, whether we know or not, whether we have realized or not, whether we accept it or not, because some of us can be atheists also. They can go around saying, I don't believe in God, but God is there in them. And because of Bhagavan in them only, they are saying, I don't believe in God. So the very fact that Bhagavan is there in all of us, that life spark is there in us, that consciousness is there in us, means love is there in us. We don't have to get it from anywhere else. Now that love is invested in all the things outside. So hardly any love is left over to invest it in the Lord. Therefore, we have to collect back all our love which we have invested in all the things and then direct it towards Bhagavan. Vishaya Tyaga. So not only Vishaya Tyaga, that is things. Sangat Tyaga Cha. Means over here what is indicated is beings. We can say things and beings. Or we can also say Vishaya Tyaga, Sangat Tyaga Cha means all the worldly attachment. Towards whom? Towards people. Our attachment is only towards things and beings. So from both we have to withdraw back our love which we have invested in things and in beings. So for Bhagavan there is hardly any love left in us. So therefore we take it back we take back the love from the things. That is called as Tyaga. We take back the love that we have invested. Not that tomorrow onwards we should hate everybody. It doesn't mean that at all. So therefore, and take back the love also which you have invested in the beings over there. And then what should we do? We have to redirect it on towards the Lord. How can we take it back? Shankara very beautifully says, whenever you indulge in anything or whenever you feel you are getting attached to a person, check up these three factors. What are the three factors? He says, first check up whether there is Satyatvam in it. Satyatvam means, is it real? First of all, is it real or is it unreal? Viveka, discrimination comes over there. Real, unreal doesn't mean how we think of it. Real means eternal, permanent. It was, is and shall continue to be. Does it really exist or is it like the mirage waters? Or is it like the sky which is blue? The sky is not blue at all. So therefore, check up whether there is Satyatva in it. If we come to a conclusion that yes, it is real, it is permanent, at least relatively eternal and permanent, then he says check up whether there is nityatva in it. Nityatva means constantly it should be with us. Nitya. Nitya doesn't mean with breaks. 24 into 7, 365 days from our birth to our death. At least through and through, at least my lifespan, will it be with me? Nityatva. Check up that. We know nothing is Nitya. Everything is so temporary. Even if we say something is with us, what about in our deep sleep? Is it there? No, it's not available for us. But we still had a good sleep. That means we really should not be depending on that at all. So Nityatva, whether it will stay with us constantly. Even that is there. Then the third factor, he says Samahitatva. Hitam means welfare, means joy, happiness. Sukha, Sama. Equally will it give to us happiness. Day in and day out, day in and day out, will it give to us the same happiness? Check up that. If all the three factors are there, Shankara says go for it. But even if one of the factors is missing, he says it's not worth it. Doesn't mean we have to drop everything and run away somewhere. He says let things be, let people be. But we have to keep the right relationship with things and beings. To keep the right relationship itself is Tyaga. So things can be there around us and about us. People can be there around us and about us physically. But we need not have to connect with them so much so that without the thing or without those beings, we will collapse. So he says check up all of them. So if we say yes, in my lifetime, it is real, at least it will stay. So Satyatva is there. Nityatva is also there. It will always be there with me. It won't go anywhere. Samahitatva will never be there. Same dose of happiness it should give. Best, nearest and dearest friend is coming, maybe to stay with us for a few days. We say don't come just for 2-3 days, come for a month. And then she comes she obliges us and comes to stay with us for a month. After 1 week, what will be our feeling inside? We have to say attitude towards that friend. See, I don't know when she will. It's okay, I like her, everything is fine, but that but will always be there. Anything too much is too bad. If it's at a distance, it's good for us. Laddu, maybe sweets, we are very fond of sweets. How much can we eat? If Samahitatva is there in the sweets, the 25th barfi or the laddu also should give the same happiness as the first one gave to us. It's not true. So therefore, none of this is there in any of the things and beings, worldly things and worldly beings. Therefore, the teacher is telling us over here, give it up. Give it up where mentally we must give. Mentally we must renounce them. Those psychological bondages with things and with beings. We have connected with things and beings, saying that without these things and without these beings, my life is incomplete. That we have to slowly dissolve away or cut that bondage. That is called as Tyaga. So it's not more of an external renunciation that we have to do. This is an internal or inner renunciation. Outside is easier. For some of us, even outside also is very difficult. So therefore, this has been told to, actually it looks like negative. Tyaga, do, give up. So give up, the teacher says over here, everything. Vishaya also do Tyaga of things and beings within ourselves. Nobody should even know that we have inside of us done Tyaga of them. But still, we can be very, very lovable to that person. So we have to make sure that we have accomplished real Tyaga in us. So this is giving up. If we give up all these things, what should we do then? There will be a sense of voidness in us, blankness in us. Why? Within ourselves, we have given up our likes for all these things. We have given up our love. Love means that clinging attachment to all the people, the beings around us and about us. What should we next do? So it's as simple as climbing up the ladder. When we want to climb up the ladder, one rung higher we want to go, we have to leave the lower. Or when we have left the lower rung of the ladder, it means we have fixed our foot, or one foot is on the higher rung over there, upper rung over there. So this is slow, steady progress in our lives. Slow, we must give up something. Why are we giving it up? So that we can attach ourselves to something else. That itself means yoga. Yoga means to give up the lower so that we can attach ourselves or connect ourselves with the higher. So anything that we do in our lives, it need not be just the puja or the vrata or the stotra chanting or the festival celebration or going to the temple or going for a yatra. It doesn't mean only that. The Bhagavad Gita has already told us now. Any day-to-day simple routine activity that we do can be converted, it can become a sadhana for us, wherein we are leaving the lower and reaching out to the higher. So we are leaving the lower and reaching out to the higher. To do that, we are using this field of activity, then it becomes karma yoga, or it becomes yajna, or it becomes worship. So wherever we are, supposing we are working outside, in a company, MNC, in a bank, in a school, in a college, wherever it be, if we use that particular field of activity, it's our karma that we are doing, activity, a profession, career it is. For homemakers, it is whatever we are doing at home. Cooking, talking, maybe helping the children or the grandchildren, whatever it is. So whatever activity we are engaged in or performing over there, if we can use it to reach out to the higher. How can I reach out to the higher? Obviously I have to leave the lower. So therefore it's all an attitude of the mind intellect. It's not so much at the physical level, it's all at the inner level. So all work can be converted to worship. All work can be converted to worship. So if we are giving up over here or doing tyaga of things and beings, what should we do? Sutra 36 tells us over here what we should do over there. It says, Avyavrita Bhajanat. Avyavrita means continuous, uninterrupted. We say Nitya Nirantara Ishvara Bhajana, Ishvara Chintana. So here the word uses bhajana. Bhajana immediately doesn't mean we must have an harmonium in front of us, then we must have the tabla with us, and then the thala with us, and then sing songs. That is kirtana. It comes from the root. Bhajana comes from the root to serve, to invoke. So bhajana has got a different meaning, a very deep, profound meaning. We use bhajana for kirtana. We are going for bhajan classes. What are we doing over there? We are learning kirtans over there. That is a part of bhajana. Kirtana is also a part of bhajana. But bhajana means, in its broadest sense, to invoke the Lord. Actually to serve. How can we serve anybody? It can be an individual or it can be an institution, by connecting with, by invoking them. Invoking means I am connecting with. Unless and until we connect with somebody, we can't serve them. So therefore teachers say, serve the Lord. How do we serve the Lord? By invoking Him. Bhagavan is not in front of us physically, just like any of us for us to serve Him right now, for the majority of us. But they say serve the Lord. How can we serve the Lord? By invoking Him. How can we invoke Him? Is it only in the puja room or in the temple? No, in and through everybody. Why? He is there in all the people and extended. He is there in all things. So when Bhagavan is there in everything and in every being, and everything and every being is in Him, it becomes easy for us to invoke Him. Whatever we connect with, whatever thing or a person, we are invoking the Lord who is there in them. So Avyavrita Bhajana. So this becomes, it's easy to do it. So uninterrupted, continuous, Nitya, Nirantara Bhajana. And Bhajana can never, it can only be done in an atmosphere of love. We should like what we are doing. We should love what we are doing. We can't say I'm devoted to the Lord, but I have to do this and I have to do that. We are grumbling, mourning, sulking. Then that is not love at all. That is not bhakti at all. Somebody has imposed some rituals on us and therefore we are doing it. We don't want to do it, but what to do? We have to do it. So whatever we are doing, we should love doing it. Why? We are doing it for the Lord. And when I love the Lord, whatever I do for Him, I love that also. So avyavrita bhajanat, continuously we have to invoke the Lord. So one is positive, one is negative. We have to leave the lower and reach the higher. So the teacher has told us how to cultivate devotion in us. So we can never ever hope to become a devotee without giving up certain things or dropping certain things. And how can we drop it? It becomes easy for us if we check up over there. Is it real or unreal? Is it just there in front of me? Or does it really exist in front of me? I feel it is there, but it may not be there. Snake in the rope. We think the snake is there, sure, and it's giving us trouble. Fear is there in us. But somebody else is seeing the rope as the rope. So that is the meaning of Satyatva. So Satyatva we can check up, Nityatva we can check up, Samahitatva we can check up. It becomes slowly easy for us. Again, it's not an overnight transformation at all. It may take months, it may take days, months, years. It may take lives for us. It all depends. So therefore, the teacher said to cultivate bhakti, what is it that we should do? Vishayatyagat, Sangatyagat cha, and also over here, Avyavrta Bhajanat. Constantly we must connect with the Lord. How to connect with Him? If it is Nirguna, it is very difficult for us. The teacher will tell us, meditate on Him. Whom should we meditate on? Brahman. Who is Brahman? Nameless, formless, attributeless, all-pervading, beyond space, beyond time, beyond cause-effect relationship. For our mind, it is not at all easy. Therefore, we have been given a name, form, qualities, and some glories of the Lord, Leelas we call it. So, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya has been so that it's easy for us, for our mind to connect with Him. So, when the Lord is there in front of us, deity is there in front of us. How to connect with Him? Again, it's very difficult. He is there. Saguna, Murti is there in front of us. Vigraha is there. I am there. How do I connect? How do I show my love to Him? The rituals. So all our rituals that our masters have given are not just given out blindly. We say rituals are meaningless, purposeless. I do not know why we are doing all of them. They all seem to be so complicated. They're very, very highly scientific, all our rituals. All the rituals that we do are all a dramatization of what we should be doing within ourselves. So the rituals are all over there so that all our indriyas, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin are all there, focusing, concentration. And the ingredients that we use over there for the ritual dravya, there is visual therapy for the eyes, for the ears there is audio therapy, for the nose there is aroma therapy. We don't use any substance. All fragrances are not allowed. Then prasadam and tirtham there is rasa therapy. And for the skin there is sparsha therapy also, touch therapy. And of course the mind and intellect, mind and intellect also are involved over there. So psychological, plus physically also. We should sit like this, etc., etc. So at all levels of our equipment, again karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, all are involved over there. Hands are involved, legs are involved. In the sense we are sitting down or we are going around pradakshina or we are doing our namaskar over there. So hands are involved, legs are involved, mouth, speech is involved in the various rituals that we do. So the rituals will help us to connect with the Lord. It's like a setu or a bridge. From this side we want to go that side. How will we accomplish it? Bridge has to be. So all the rituals are very, very meaningful and purposeful, provided we know why we are doing it. Otherwise, mechanically when we do, it won't help us at all. So we should know why we are doing whatever we are doing, and when we do perform the ritual, it can become a very powerful means for us to reach the end. Because we will be connected totally, completely with the Lord when we are performing our rituals. So that also comes over here, Avyavrata Bhajanad. Because when we are performing our rituals, we are invoking the Lord over there. We are connecting with Him over there. We are doing bhajana over there. That's what Adi Shankara again says in his Bhajagovindam Stotra. He says, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhajamodamate. That's very beautiful story is there. When he was in Kashi, along with these 4 disciples, maybe others were also there with him. And when he was moving over there, morning probably, he had just gone to the Ganga and had a bath, and he was coming back. What did he see? He saw one old man, maybe 95, 96, 97 age, not yet died. And what is he doing? He is memorizing Sanskrit grammar. At that point of time, Shankara stands over there. He is overcome with empathy over there. A person who has become so old. And what is he doing over there? Instead of connecting with the Lord, instead of invoking the Lord, he is just memorizing Sanskrit grammar over there. What good will it do to him? So therefore he says over there, Bhaja Govindam. Govinda means the Lord. Our Ishta Devata it means. Not that tomorrow we should change the deity and start invoking only Govinda because Shankara told us. It can be any deity, Shiva, Rama, Krishna, Devi, ityad. Bhaja there means invoking. Because obviously he is not telling that 98 or 96-year-old, whatever be his age, to now sit and do rituals. He already must be knowing it all. So therefore Bhaja means invoke the Lord. Whom should we invoke? Invoke Govinda, he is saying. So sweetly and lovingly the teacher is advising a person who has not even become his disciple. What love our masters have for all of us. So Bhaja Govindam. But we will not listen to the teacher. Therefore again Bhaja Govindam. Twice. Again we will not listen. Or we listen and say, okay sir. Govindam Bhaja, he says. He reverses the words over there. Hey Muda Mate. Muda doesn't mean not educated. Muda Mati means Buddhi. Muda Mate means you are deluded. You do not know what you should be doing now and what you should not be doing now. You got everything mixed up. Your priorities mixed up. So therefore, hey Mudamate, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamat. It's like we telling our children, do your homework. The child will say, yes, mummy, and still it will not start doing its homework. Do your homework, second time. And third time, what do? We raise our voice. Homework has to be done. Will you do it now or not? It's like that. So the very format is so beautiful. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamat. When we chant it also, that bhava must come in us. Why samprapte sannihite kali? He says over. Sampraptam. Praptam means gained. Sampraptam means it's already been gained by us. It's there with us. When we were born, death also is there with us. Only we do not know. So samprapte sannihite. When that death date which is already there with us, because sure, for a person who has been born, death is sure. So that is sure, already there with us, sampraptam. But it has not yet come sannihita. It has not come in front of us still. So when that which already is there with you then comes in front of you, what will you do? Your grammar, nothing in the world will take care of you except the love or the devotion that you have for the Lord. That alone can protect you. That Lord alone can be our sole refuge and shelter, nothing else. So that's the meaning of bhajan. The word bhajana over here, we see it in Shankara's Bhaja Govinda. So avyavrita bhajana. So avyavrita means uninterrupted, continuously we should invoke the Lord. The next question for all of us will be, how can we invoke the Lord continuously, uninterrupted? Because we have to do so many other things. Karma yoga is there. We are converting all our karma into karma yoga, all our work into worship, that is there. But continuously how to keep on doing bhajan of the Lord, invoke Him? We have got other duties, we have got other responsibilities, etc., etc. So that question will come up in us. The teacher knows we will ask this question. Those who are working, they will say, we have got our work to do. It's all my bread and butter. Those who are at home will say, I have to look after so many things. I have to clean up the house, I have to cook in the kitchen, etc. So where is the time for uninterrupted, continuous bhajana of the Lord? Therefore, in the 37th sutra, the teacher says, Lokepi Bhagavad Guna Shravana Kirtanat. Loke api means in the loka. What loka means? Field of activity. In English, we will only say world. But in Sanskrit, there are so many words used. Jagat, Vishwa, Loka. If asked to translate into English, for all of them we will say world. If all of them denote world, why 3 words in Sanskrit? So the 3 words represent 3 different aspects. So Loka means a field of activity. Now we are all in a Satsanga Loka. It's a field of activity where like-minded people have come for a particular purpose. Over here, nothing else will be shared. Supposing we go for a meeting, let us say professional, all of us over there, teachers have been called for a meeting. It becomes a world, loka of teachers, a world of doctors, a world of engineers, a world of political leaders. So that means loka, field of activity, where like-minded people or those who are qualified for a particular thing have come over there to discuss something common. So loka means field of activity. So in all our field of activities, the teacher is telling us over here, Bhagavan means the Lord. Bhagavad Guna means His glories. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. And all the stories of the Lord, what are they trying to indicate to us? It's only His glories over there. The more we know of His glories, the more knowledge we have about Him, the more we can connect with Him. When we connect with Him more and more intensely, it means my bhakti for the Lord is becoming more and more and more. So therefore, Bhagavad Guna, what should we do? Shravana Kirtana. Shravana means to hear. Kirtana means to sing. So slight difference between the word bhajana and kirtana. Kirtana means to sing the Lord's glory. Shravana means to hear, to listen actually. Very many of us hear things. We hear through this ear and leave it out through that other ear also. So many sounds come to us. But all of them we don't register. Why? Mind was not there. We do it in our Bhagavad class and in our Gita class and in any class also. Ramayana class also. How much did we listen to? We didn't. We heard it all. So we should listen to it. So therefore Shravana. Shravana means to listen to. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says Shrunu, Shrunu. So many times he uses the word Shrunu. Means listen, Arjuna. Not just hear. But you must listen. Means your mind should participate along with your pair of ears. Only then it can become a part of us. Afterwards we have to do manana before it becomes a part of us. So therefore Shravana means to listen. And listening and to sing the Lord's glories. So therefore the teacher says, it's not that when they say uninterrupted, continuous, avyavrita bhajanat, we should drop everything, leave everything. Why? I want to do bhajana of the Lord because Narada Bhakti Sutra has told us that we have to invoke the Lord. And how to invoke the Lord? Narada Bhakti Sutra has told us uninterrupted, continuous. So from today onwards, I am not going to cook. I am not going to do this. I am not going to do this. all duties, responsibilities dropped. Why? I am going to invoke the Lord. Sit in the room, bolt the, in a room, closed room, and hoping to invoke the Lord. I do not know whether we are really invoking the Lord or not. It's not possible for us at all. So therefore the teacher says over here, whenever you are in Karma Yoga comes over here. So whenever you are engaged in any of your worldly activities, make sure that in and through that you are hearing and singing the glories of the Lord. And that very beautifully over there, Purandaradasaru writes it in one of his Devarnamas. Narajanma bandaga nalige iruvaga Krishna enabarade. You're being born as a human being. Rare it is human birth. We think it's not rare because population has increased. But according to our scriptures, Narajanma Durlabha, Dasaru again says, very rare. Viveka Chudamani starts like that. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. So it's very rare it is that we are standing on our 2 feet and we are being called as human beings. But then humane qualities must be there in us also. So therefore Purandaradasaru says, having been born as a human being, think of the Lord. Krishna in a Bharati. Is it so difficult to say Krishna, Rama? Simple it is. Rama ಎಂಬುವ 2 ಅಕ್ಷರದ mantra, he says. It doesn't even have 3 aksharas. 2. To say Ra and Ma is very easy. One more song is there, Devarnama. Hari Analu Balu Katinava, he asks. He's sarcastic. Ha and Ri, is it very difficult? Ha and Ra, Hara, is it very difficult? To take the Lord's name is not at all difficult. So therefore he says, simply just say Krishna Krishna or Shiva Shiva or Rama Rama or any of our Ishta Devata's name we can take. Instead of saying Ayoyo. I think last time or before that I did give the example of how winter goes away saying Shiva Shiva. So we are born into such a rich tradition where even when we are children, our parents or grandparents put all these things into our mind. See, it said Shiva Shiva and went. They never use any other word. For everything it will always be Bhagavan's name. That is why most of us have been given God's names. So when they address us and call us, unknowingly they are taking the Lord's name. Ajamila's story. He had named his son Narayana. At the end he took the name of Narayana. Actually he was calling his son. But Narayana's Dutas came. So even by default, that is why names are all picked up from Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, Shiva Sahasranama. But nowadays people have a fancy of picking up names from anywhere else. We won't go into it. So therefore Dasaru says, whatever you are doing, you are getting up in the morning and stretching yourself. You don't want to get up from the bed, but what to do? Somebody has woken us up. And when we are stretching ourselves, say Krishna Krishna. You have eaten up to the throat. You shouldn't have, but what to do? The lunch over there was so beautiful. Everything was delicious. They say Krishna Krishna over there. For anything say Krishna, he said. Whether you're at home, whether you're going outside. That is why in many of our traditions, when we meet somebody, we don't say hello, hi, because hello doesn't mean anything. Hi doesn't mean anything in our tradition. Namaste. General it is. Namaha te. To you I offer my salutations. Why are we offering our salutations to our own friend or to somebody who is maybe younger to us? Not to the person. We are offering our salutations to that consciousness or to the Lord who is there in them, because of which they are in front of us. So first, before we start talking with them, whether it is gossip or whatever it is, with our friend, before we start our worldly activities, first we acknowledge the divinity in them. That is why the namaskar or the namaste. Anybody, we always say namaste, namaskar. So right in the beginning, we acknowledge the divinity that is there in them, which is the same divinity that is there in us. Then we come down to our vyavahara level. Or Jai Shri Krishna, they say, Rama Rama, they say, Shiva Shiva, they say. Some people just use Om to greet somebody. So when we are saying it, first we hear it. And when we are saying it loudly, they also hear it. So both of us are hearing Rama Rama or Shiva Shiva or Om. Automatically the mind gets uplifted. And the positive energy around it also is beneficial to all of us. So therefore, the teacher over here said, even though you are engaged in, because that should not become an excuse in us. I'm very, very busy. We don't have any time at all to invoke the Lord. Nowadays, we say that more. With all the gadgets that we have, our lifestyle has become so simple but complicated. Everything is there around us and about us. Our standard of living has gone up. But then still we say, I have no time for anything. We do say that. Why? We are so much caught up in our worldly activity. But the teacher says, no excuses. In and through all your worldly activities, make sure constantly that you are hearing or you are singing His glories. So anything, the Lord's name first. It can start with the Namaste onward. Which means all the idle gossip, etc., slowly should come down if we want to progress on the path of bhakti. If we don't want to progress, it's a different matter. And Shravana. Instead of hearing all sorts of things, why not hear the Lord's glory? Why not hear a kirtan, which is glorifying Him? So therefore, that was told to us. So now we know bhakti is there. Again, it was coupled with knowledge, and in these 2 or 3 sutras, the teacher has told us how to cultivate our bhakti. In the next set of sutras, the teacher tells us over here, is it easy? First he told us it's much more easier than any other path. The path of jnana, the path of dhyana, the path of karma, because all of them, some prerequisites are needed, some conditions are needed, something extra other than us is needed. To do karma yoga, we need a field of activity. To do social service, we should have the society and community in front of us for us to serve them. So everything else, it depends on something else. But for bhakti, nothing is needed, is what the teacher told us. Love is already there in us. That love has been invested in things and being, worldly things and being. All that the teacher is saying is that same love, turn it towards the Lord. If we turn it towards something higher, it becomes bhakti. Higher means the Lord. So he said relatively it is easier than the other paths. But if we try to do whatever the teacher has suggested over here, then we will know how difficult it is. Why? Manava nillisudu balukatina, Dasaru himself says. It's the mind that has to turn towards the Lord. To love the Lord, what is the equipment that we have in us? It's the mind. I love the Lord with all my mind, we say. So for the mind to change, to turn, it's not easy at all, because we have programmed it like that. Now we have to deprogram it and reprogram it. That was what was given to us. Tyaga, do, and then invoke the Lord. And then the teacher told us, in and through everything, you must connect with the Lord. So is it easy? It's not so easy at all. Bhakti also for us to come is not very easy at all. For that also somewhere we should have matured. Maybe we are not at the higher, in the queue over there, where people have lined up, bhaktas have lined up. Maybe we are not right at the right in front. Maybe we are right behind over there. So it's very difficult for us to, that's what the teacher is saying. Is it easy for us? It's not so easy at all. Even to practice devotion is not so easy. There are so many sadhaks who have already successfully walked the path of bhakti. And when we read their life stories, life biographies, and when we try to put it into practice, we know it's not so easy at all. Why? The mind is very difficult for us to change. To make the mind listen to us and make it do whatever we want it to do on the path, on the spiritual path, with respect to bhakti, it's not so easy at all. It won't yield to us. Arjuna tells Krishna, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. He's not just talking about meditation there, because it comes in the Dhyana Yoga, a chapter, 6th chapter. For anything constructive, positive, so anything higher, mind will not easily yield to us at all. It wants to hold its fort. So therefore, is it easy, after having told us all this, is it easy for us to walk the path of devotion? It's not so easy at all. Then what do we need in our lives to make this become easy for us? In the 38th Sutra, the teacher says, Mukhyataha tu mahat kripayaiva bhagavat kripa leshat va. It's not easy at all. This bhakti can come to us, the teacher says, Narada says over here, Mukhya means primarily, first, priority wise. Devotion will come to us only when Mahat Kripayaiva. Eva means only, one and only, not anything else. So there are no two over there, there is only one. And what is it? Mahat Kripa means compassion, grace. Whose grace do we need? Mahat Kripa. The grace of all our masters who have already walked the path. We need their grace. So we can't say, I know everything about devotion, I will practice it. I don't need anybody else. Without the grace of our masters, rishis, saints, prophets, acharyas, it's very difficult for us to walk the path. We need their grace. Or the teacher says, Bhagavat Kripa Leshat. Leshat means even a little. At least a little of Bhagavan's Kripa, grace should be there. Are they two? We will see later on. But now the teacher has given to us two. Va means or. So either this or that. So there are no two. Either this or either that. Does it mean that there are two but one is enough for us? The teacher will tell us that no, both are the same. Grace of Bhagavan and grace of our Guru. Mahat means Acharya, saints, means our Guru. Mahat Kripayaiva means it stands for Guru over there. Bhagavan means it stands for God over there. So Guru's grace we should have, or God's grace we should have, to successfully walk the path of devotion. Guruvina gulama naguva tanaka dorayadanna mukuti, Dasaru says. Very clear he is. Guruvina gulama, he says. Unless and until you become a slave of the Guru. Slave means total, complete, unconditional surrender to the teacher. Unless and until that happens, mukti moksha is not possible. Means bhakti not possible for us. So therefore we need the grace of the Guru, or we need the grace of the Lord himself. Without the grace of the Lord, without the grace of our teacher, Acharya, it won't work at all for us. That is why it's so important. That is why in our tradition, it is so important for us that the grace of the Guru and the grace or the grace of the Lord should be there for us to walk any path. Here we are talking about devotion, path, Bhakti Marga we are talking about, the path of devotion. For anything, we need Guru's grace. We need his help. We need his empathy. We need his grace. How will it come to us? Is it easy? Very difficult also that is. Easily, Guru will not come into our lives. And we can't go searching for a Guru also. How will we know who our Guru is? God, we have heard of God. The picture of God is there in our puja room. Picture or the idol vigraha is there. In the temple also there is Lord. But how to connect with him? I want his grace. I don't even know how to invoke him. If we invoke him, yes, grace will come. And we can invoke him also only with this grace. We can't say, I invoked him, therefore his grace came upon me, descended upon me. With his grace only we invoked him. To choose the right path is not in our hands. We need God's grace also to be able to distinguish between the wrong path that we have taken and the right path that we want to take. Leave the wrong path. Start walking the right path. And then only bhakti, jnana, dhyana, ityadi will come. Karma yoga, ityadi. For all of that we need the grace of the Lord. Grace of the Guru we need. So therefore Guru becomes a personality or an institution which is very, very much needed for all of us. Is it easy now? So now we have to go in search of a Guru. Is it easy? Not so easy. How will we know who is a Guru? We can't go and ask them, have you realized, sir? Or Ishvara Darshana has happened to you? They may say yes, they may not say yes. Just to avoid all this crowd, they may just avoid us and go away. And we will conclude they have not realized. Or Ishvara Darshana has not happened to them. But it may have happened to them. Or somebody says, yes, I saw Bhagavan. Mukti Moksha has happened to me. How do we know it's true? They may be cheating us. So how do we really know who a Guru is? In Guru Gita, Shiva tells Parvati, Guru Mahatmya is so difficult for us to know. In fact, he says, I can't even communicate it to you, Parvati. But because you're asking, I will tell you. So how do we know who is a Guru? We can't even say real Guru because there is no real Guru and a false Guru. Guru is Guru. So how do we know? It's very difficult for us. So we can't go running after trying to search for a Guru. It's not possible. Therefore, our masters say, we have to be where we are and with all good intention in us, we should want to walk the right path. Why? We already know that the other path that we were taking till today was wrong. Therefore, we are very, very earnest, we are very, very sincere and we want to walk the right path. And over there we want to practice, in this case, bhakti towards the Lord. We keep it, that longing and that craving should be there in us. How much intense it should be in us. So intense it should be that wherever the Guru is, he will come to us. So they always say, we cannot go to a Guru, but the Guru will come to us. That's what they say. We cannot go to a Guru, Guru will come to us. It doesn't mean literally walking. Somehow or the other, Bhagavan will make sure that we both meet. How we will meet, in which place, at what time, under what circumstances, all that we have to leave it to the Lord. Leave it to our Guru. Literally also they may come. From far away they may come. They won't say, I came for you. Something will happen. We will meet them. A situation will arise over there. And we will know this is the right person to advise me. To help me to walk the spiritual path. Something will tell us. Something will click between the two of us. It's called as tuning in. So our frequency and the Guru's frequency will match. Only then we will say, this is my Guru. Because Gurus are so many. All are great. But we don't go to all of them in the beginning. All are great. We worship them. We adore them. But one of them will become our personal Guru. Why is it so? Because the frequencies will match, connect. So we just know the right person we have met in our lives to help us to move forward. So they always say, we can never go searching for a Guru. We stay where we are and do whatever we are supposed to be. Slowly, slowly we have to grow, unfold ourselves within ourselves. We have to grow, expand, and do all the right things and wait wherever we are, the Guru will enter into our lives. Or maybe he will make sure that we go to that place also. Physically I am saying. But the Guru will come into our lives. And when the Guru comes into our life, we'll just read the 39th Sutra and we'll take it up next time. The teacher over here is saying, Mahat Sangaha tu Durlabaha Agamyaha Amogaha Cha. Supposing in our lives we meet a Guru, that is the greatest thing that can happen to us. We are talking about bhakti, any field it can be. It's the greatest thing. Mahat Sangha. Sangha means contact. Mahat Sangha means to come in contact with the great person. The teacher is here saying, Durlabha. Labha means gain. Durlabha means very difficult for us. It's not so easy. Today we thought of something and tomorrow we met our Guru. The Bhagavan will test us enough, or we can say nature will test us enough. And only then we will be able to meet the Guru. So Durlabha means very extremely difficult for us to get. Agamyaha, impossible for us to know who is a Guru. Will he be able to help me on my spiritual path? Amogha. Amogha means once we have reached that person, the Mahanubhava or the Guru, then sure for us fulfillment. We already fulfilled ourselves. Sangha, the word used over here. Dasaru says, Haridasara Sangha Dorakitu Yenege Innenu. Means what more, what more? Already my life's purpose is fulfilled. Total satisfaction, contentment has already come to me. So when we meet our Guru, sure it is purposeful, meaningful, effective, and sure we will be able to cross over the ocean of samsara and reach the other side. It cannot but be like that. Why? That's the greatness of our Guru. So therefore, in the 39th Sutra, Narada is saying over here, this Mahat Sangaha, of course it's very difficult. Not that everybody easily we get a Guru. No, it's not easily that we get our Guru. And also very difficult for us to know who a Guru is. And also if he comes into our life, sure for us upliftment. There can never again be a fall for us when we meet our Guru. So the 39th Sutra, we will take it up a little more in the next class.